So today I'm going to speak about some subjects which have to do with how we have to understand medicine to be, and what, in my opinion, consists of a better doctor. And what it really amounts to is what balance is, and basically it's also a matter of perspective. But I'm just going to describe this type of understanding with basically interactions whereby most of you can know, at least if you're a doctor, that some of these things are actually what happens in real life. And in terms of balance, we know that in physiology, the homeostasis is the most important thing in the survival of any given organism. And for an example, we have it was something that came to me while I was studying something on asthma, and it's what happens with people that have hypercapnia or too much CO2 running in their blood. And what typically happens, and what we tell them is that when your blood becomes too acid, you can't really work the same way as you did before. You need to blow some of that out by hyperventilating. And what happens is the example that I was giving myself was also in diabetics, for example, or even yourself. If you eat too much, your body basically tries to bring your body down to balance. And the problem is that if you create a situation for yourself in real life which is negatively stimulating, or which brings you to suffer. For example, you go to school and somebody punishes you there, or you receive some sort of abuse of any sort, your body tries to bring your experience into balance with for a pleasant sensation, or a pleasant, experience. For some people, we manifest that in a sense by eating excessively or way beyond our actual biological desire, and then you count on the body unconsciously to get you rid of some of that extra sugar through just having sometimes diarrhea from eating too much. Sometimes your kidneys will filter out some of that excess sugar. Sometimes your body will turn that sugar into fat and create more storage of fat. So if we go back to the understanding of homeostasis, or basically systems that are in balance, it's actually different systems. We study that in medicine through the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system. In any case, in the perfect example is what happens to a human being when they start breathing too fast. Let's say if we go with the reasoning that more is actually better. For example, I have the reasoning that having money, is a good thing, but I can think that having more money is actually always better, and to have more and more and more is better. And we see that some individuals, when they get into situations where they have suddenly a lot of money, their life kind of collapses down and things don't work too well. And it's actually that same homeostasis balance that we see in nature, whereby sometimes an animal reproduces too much and there's too many of them, and then an epidemic will just slaughter some of them, or some other predators are going to rise in numbers and bring down the level. And then when there's going to be less of the prey, the predator will actually start having more difficulty living. So even this actually applies to money. But back to the subject, what happens is that when the human body, when you decide consciously, this is something that you do beyond your need for something, like we do for food. Let's say you decide of your own to test this out. You hyperventilate. You say, we do this in yoga. Sometimes we start breathing faster, and we start breathing faster in a conscious level. What happens is that your body then goes into an apnea-like state, and then for some people, sometimes they faint, they pass out. And when you pass out, your body takes over your conscious, because your conscious aspect is actually destroying the balance. And so what really happens is that the balance is not lost. Your body still works perfectly, but it's like a translational event. You, with your consciousness, basically you said, I'm actually going to breathe faster. This balance that you have, breathing, for example, 25 times per minute, is not biologically balanced, or for your body, for your physiology as a human being. So when you take that decision and you bring it there, your body basically doesn't have the capacity to just go where you want. For example, if you want to fly, your body doesn't just teleport there. The balance of your body has to actually bring you back there, and if you don't come back, then you actually lose it here. You lose it. You fall asleep, or you pass out, and then you come back here. For example, people that are they say, I'm gonna lose some weight, I'm gonna starve myself. So when they go into a fasting process, which they may do for a week or two, they want to lose weight or whatever their goal is. Their body is gonna feel very sleepy, and it's the same thing. They're taking away the hypoglycemia that you are creating on your own by refusing to eat when your body's telling you you need to eat, and then your body starts breaking down different things to restore a balance and not to feed you. Really, your body's trying to use itself to sustain itself within the system that it has, and the system is really the physiology of the human body. And you can look at there are many things that pertain to this, but this was basically what I was thinking about while I was studying. I think anybody can make examples. They can come up with ideas such as these. But what's really interesting is when you actually take an example that you know about yourself. For example, what is it that a human being can do to be more wealthy? Well, needless to say, and if wealth is established in our society by work, then you have to work more. But if you have to work more, you technically have to, or work more efficiently. And the whole, the economy of balance is actually just that. So I guess there's different ways that people can in fact come to relate themselves to society and mankind. But ultimately, this, I feel personally, historically, this type, the knowledge of yoga, for example, has brought people to disconnect from physical reality, to connect to some other place wherein they can, in a sense, be conscious to whatever degree they exist in that shape or form. But anyways, not to get off topic, that was basically what I wanted to share.